All right, welcome back to the Mystical Rebel channel. We've got another reaction, and we are going to be reacting to Isaiah Robin once again. We've debunked, reacted to his videos quite often lately. We've got quite a few videos debunking Isaiah Robin's content. And in this video, we're going to be debunking, or let me say reacting, which is really going to be debunking, to his most recent video. This is only a day ago, at least as of this recording, it's only a day ago. Witches tell pastor the dark side to different award shows. I mean, you guys already know this is going to be a bunch of nonsense. It's going to be a bunch of BS, but I'm very interested to see exactly what Isaiah Robin and whatever this witch and this pastor has to say. Excuse me. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. Let's not waste any time with long, drawn out openings like I usually do. We don't need an 8-minute opening. So let's go ahead. This is Isaiah Robin's Witches Tell Pastor the Dark Side to Different Award Shows. Let's see what we got here.
Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I pray everybody's doing good, doing well on this Tuesday. We're going to jump into some crazy stuff today. A video actually came across my desk, and it was of Pastor Craig Lewis. For those who don't know who this is a guy who's been exposing a lot of stuff going on within the music industry for years, over a decade, okay? It was him and, man, what's the other guy's name? He passed away already. Somebody put it in the comments. I cannot believe I forgot what the other guy's name was. Anyways, it was two of them for the most part that I've known of, Pastor Craig Lewis and another one. And a video I came across today was him talking about how he spoke with different higher elites within the kingdom of darkness, from witches to warlocks, and they told him different things.
The funny thing that I always wonder about these types of videos is these content creators or their audience, because I truly believe that most of these content creators, I truly believe someone like Isaiah Robin knows that they're lying, knows that they're like they know themselves that they themselves are BSing and lying. They are purposely doing it. I truly believe that. People like him, people like Elizabeth April, people like Jack Marino, those types. I truly believe that they actively know, they are consciously aware of the fact that they are scamming and lying to people about these occult practices and the studies and their knowledge and experience in the case of Jack Marino, Chen, and all that. And so maybe not the content creators, but their audience. No one in the audience ever stops to think, why would so let's assume that witches, so people like me, occultists, warlocks, even though no one really, I mean, Christian Day calls himself a warlock, right? The guy that owns those really popular occult shops in Salem and in New Orleans, Hex, and there's another one. I always forget the other one's name, but anyway, he calls himself a warlock. He and his husband call themselves warlocks. Brother Moloch calls himself a warlock. But like other than that, I don't know anyone really in the occult world that any men that call themselves warlocks. Most men call themselves magicians, occultists, or even just witches, or whatever tradition they come from, whatever titles they have for themselves. But let's assume that we are part of the kingdom of darkness and all that other stuff. Why would we tell a pastor anything? Why would we give the secrets to like, no one ever asked that question? Why would a high ranking warlock or witch give secrets to a pastor? That doesn't make any sense. Like zero sense. And now maybe they're former witches and now they're Christian and they're in the church. Okay, that makes sense, but he doesn't say that. Maybe he'll go on to say that, but as of right now, he doesn't say that. And it makes me wonder why no one else is asking that question. Why would a high level witch tell you anything? Why would they come and tell you anything? That doesn't make any sense, especially when one of the four tenets of witchcraft is to know, to dare, to will, and to be silent. So it doesn't make any sense that they would tell them. But
That the
let's
award
continue.
shows consisted of. Right now, don't I'm not saying
So he said what the high-ranking witches told, the pastor, this pastor is saying that high-ranking witches, high-ranking warlocks, elites came and told him about the occultism, the magic happening at the award shows. Because I know I gave a bit of a lengthy little interlude there, so you might have missed it. But that's what they're saying.
I trust everything that's said by just different individuals like this that we bring
You
up
do
here, but
trust everything
there's
they
a
say.
lot of
You
different
do. You
things
are trusting
that
everything
I've
they say.
heard that I've done my own research on. Okay, that's key. Don't just take what's being said. Do your own research. There's a lot of different things that I've done my own research on.
you've
That Pastor Kirk,
you've you've not done your own research, right? You've not done your own research. I've got 50, what is that, 51.75 gigs out of 100 of occult books, right? And I started to categorize them. I'm nowhere near done, but even just under the Satanism and Luciferian, I've got a few that I've already cataloged, right? What's one, two, three, four, five, six, right? So I've got a little over 2 dozen um, Luciferian and Satanic books here. This is just what I've categorized. It's not the totality of what I have on Luciferianism and Satanism. Not to mention, you see the physical bookshelf here, and there's another one over there. Not to mention the physical books that I have that are absolutely diabolical, demonic, Luciferian. You've not read any of them or anything like them. Your research is conspiracy. You're not reading books by actual occultists with actual occult instruction. You're reading conspiracy books. Maybe it's by someone who claims to be an occultist, but they don't have any credentials in the occult world. No one in the legitimate occult world knows who they are. Right? That's your research. And on the off chance that you do come across a legitimate occult book, it's only going to be from one of maybe three, maybe four at max sources. It's going to come from either Aleister Crowley, Manly P. Hall, Alice Bailey, or Helena Blavatsky. That's who your sources are going to be, because that's who the conspiracy community hangs on. If it wasn't for those four, if we remove Alice Bailey, she's less popular. But Crowley, Blavatsky, and Hall are like the holy trinity for you conspiracy theorists. That's who you do your research through. That's not research. Those people, no one takes those guys seriously in the occult, with the exception of Crowley. And Crowley is a pariah in most of mainstream occultism. I promise you, the average mainstream occultist does not care what Aleister Crowley taught or said, unless they're interested in Thelema or like the OTO or something like that, right? Some random chaot or chaos magician doesn't care about what Crowley taught. Your random traditional witch does not care about what Crowley taught. Your random Wiccan doesn't care about what Crowley taught, right? Even though Gerald Gardner came out of the same sort of school, quote unquote, as Crowley, right? Your average Rosicrucian isn't going to care about what Crowley taught. Your average grimoire traditionalist, unless they're coming from the Thelemic perspective, isn't going to care what Crowley thought. Your average Voodoo practitioner is not going to care about what Crowley thought, right? Only Thelema or Thelemites and OTO practitioners. That's not research. Picking and choosing, only sticking to the same 3 or 4 sources. Get your occult information from actual occultists.
Lewis has talked about, that was true. And man, that's why I'm willing to come on here and bring something that he said to the platform. Let's just jump right into it when he was talking about these award shows. Check this out.
These award shows, I've talked to people that were high level, high ranking witches, warlocks, and people that operated in darkness. And
no one in that audience is thinking why, or if they are thinking it, they wouldn't dare ask out loud or to anyone with any influence in this church, why would these high ranking people talk to you? Again, so far Isaiah Robin didn't say it, that these are people who have come back to Christ, or maybe they were never with Christ, but they've come to Christ now. And so now they're exposing it, and they've chosen him as their pastor, blah blah blah. Excuse me. He doesn't say anything like that. Maybe this pastor will, but as far as we know, that's not happening.
they told me that in these arenas, people think they're coming to get an award, but it's really an initiation. You think you're coming to get something that you should celebrate when really you're a part of a ritual.
And another thing, I also, because this brings up a good point, I just posted a video, again, as of this recording, on my TikTok, where in the comments, it was about, so the video was about alien beings, and they're being, only the Nordic beings, and they're the tall whites, right? They're blonde hair, blue eyed, and that's it. It's either those aliens or animal aliens. There's no aliens that look like or represent African people or Latin people, Hispanic people, Asian people, Native American people, Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, Alaskan Inuit, Australian Aboriginal. There's no aliens to represent those groups, right? It's only the Nordics, it's only the Eurocentric. And in the comments, someone was giving their reasoning for why this is. And I responded, and I forget exactly what their reasoning was, but I responded with, one of my issues with your reasoning is there's no cohesion within your community, right? There's no cohesion. You say whatever it is that your reasoning is for why there's no other racial representation for aliens other than Nordics, but then the next person who's going to comment has a completely different response and answer. And according to new age beliefs, everyone has their own truth, so both of those people are right, even if their positions contradict each other, even if their positions negate each other, right? There's no cohesion. And in the case of this pastor, he was saying how the award shows are an initiation. Well, what about all the conspiracy theorists who say that the humiliation rituals are initiations, right? Or when you're in a music video and you're wearing a red dress and that's the color of sacrifice and and that's the initiation, right? Or when you're in a movie, like for example Anya Taylor-Joy, right? Her breakout, right? The thing that made her a star was the movie The Witch, right? There was a bunch of, you could Google it right now. You can go on YouTube right now and type in Mark Eggers The Witch, occult analysis or conspiracy analysis or conspiracy exposed, witchcraft exposed, all that other stuff, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, right? These nut jobs, people like Isaiah and people like this pastor, although this pastor is grifting. This pastor doesn't believe a word he's saying. He doesn't believe a word that's coming out of his own mouth, but it allows him to be in this church, which we're seeing the camera from here. I'm sure there's, at least several dozen people there. It doesn't look like it's one of those big stadium churches, but I'm sure he's got a nice congregation. I'm sure he makes a nice paycheck, right? I'm sure he's living well. He knows he's grifting, but there's no cohesion, right? he's saying that the award shows are initiations, but other people say that the music videos with the red dresses are initiations, or being humiliated in public is an initiation. If you're a male actor, particularly black, you got to do a gay role in order to, that's your initiation if you want to make it in Hollywood. But now he's saying that an award show is the initiation. Well, which one is it? Because all the same people who just did the music video initiation, who just did the gay role initiation, they're at these award shows. They have to go through another initiation. There's 6 initiations because every year there's the Grammys, there's the Oscars, there's the Golden Globes, there's the Emmys, there's the now there's the Streamies. I think it used to be like the Webbies. There's all these other smaller award shows. There's film festivals. I mean, are all of these things initiations that they have to go through every freaking year? Like you see, no one asked these questions. This is illogical. But anyway,
It's a satanic ceremony. And I'm going to prove it to you today. But I'm going to show you this video first so you can get a good understanding of what went down.
please.
When it went down. Amen. All right.
Come on.
AdamandBeliever.com/.
Come on. Now.
celebratingdarkness.pdf. Okay.
Hold on. This video is probably going to be long. The video that we're reacting to is only what? Why doesn't it let me? Okay. There we go. It's only 13 minutes and 13 seconds. Ooh, Isaiah Robin, are you a witch? 13? Now, of course, that's ridiculous. Of course, he's going to, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. But imagine if he was reacting to this same video that he's doing right now, kind of like he is right now. You can't see him because I'm in the way, but look at him, right? He's right there. If he was reacting to a video of someone and it was 13 minutes and 13 seconds, he would say that that's some sort of numerology, gematria, whatever. But when he does it, or when any Christian does it, it's just a coincidence. But when someone who's not a Christian does it, it's witchcraft. It's demonic. But anyway, I paused it because I want to make sure we get a full, because we need to debunk this as it goes. So knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lusts. Is that to say that in the days that when Jesus was walking around, there wasn't any scoffers walking after their own lust? Is that to say that in the years directly after Jesus dying, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, 20 years, when no one thought they were in the end days, there was no one who was scoffing and walking after their own lust? It's only in the end days. That's the problem with these prophecies. Oh, people will be lovers of themselves. People were always lovers of themselves, seeking after, their own whatever. This isn't a new thing that only appeared, in the last days. Ridiculous.
Please welcome to the stage.
I like Playboy Cardi.
This dude, Playboy Cardi, is definitely demonic.
Is what?
Okay.
He's definitely what?
You know what's crazy
evil?
to me?
Hold on. I gotta go back. What did he say? I didn't. It was like low. What did he say? This boy Playboy Cardi is definitely evil.
This dude, Playboy Cardi, is definitely demonic.
Demonic.
Okay.
Why? Because of the vampire motif? Guys, I swear, like no one in the conspiracy world has ever done marketing, has ever had a job in marketing. You guys know, at least the people who have been with me from TikTok know that I used to work at Sally Mae. I was there for 5 years. 2 of those 5 years, I was in their corporate marketing division as basically the only project manager. So from 2022 to 2024, anything that you would have seen on the Sally Mae front homepage website, and pretty much most of their front-facing pages, I'm not going to say I designed it and all that, but I had a hand in making a lot of that happen, right? So I know quite a bit about marketing, and no one is caring about your average rapper that doesn't have a gimmick, that doesn't have a motif. He's just a good rapper. He just has some good lyrics or whatever, and just goes home, is loving to his wife, doesn't have any. No one cares about that rapper because the rap culture doesn't facilitate and cater to that, right? You need to have a motif. You need to have something that makes you different than everyone else. Cardi has this vampire, dark, motif. That's all that it is. I promise you, if Playboy Cardi ever gets married like any other celebrity, he's going to get married in a church. Or if he doesn't get married in a church, it's going to be officiated by a priest or a Christian or something like that. It's not going to be a Wiccan. It's not going to be a satanic priest, I tell you that. He's not going to get married in a graveyard. He's not going to get married at the satanic temple. When he passes, hopefully not for many, many, many decades, he's not going to get a funeral at the Satanic church. It's going to be at a regular church. Now, denomination, who knows, but it's going to be at a Christianized church. He's not going to get some satanic Luciferian funeral, right? But people don't think about this. Why is he demonic? Because he's using a motif? Because he knows marketing? Stop it.
And what's crazy to me is how they let people like this on their stage. They must be in cahoots in some kind of sense to let somebody like Playboy Cardi, somebody who has upside down crosses on his stages, on their platform. This is BET, I think, on their platform.
Yeah, it's just artistry. That's all that it is. And this is how I know you're a Protestant. Upside down crosses aren't evil. Upside down crosses is what Peter did. Peter was crucified upside down. Are you not familiar with your own tradition? No, but because you're Protestant, they don't teach it because that's Catholic teachings, right? And of course, the Protestants and the Catholics don't get along. That's a Catholic teaching. It's not. It's literally Christian history. Peter was crucified upside down. Now, that's not to say that, when celebrities are doing it, that's what they're trying to represent. But this notion that upside down crosses are evil is ridiculous. In the same way that upside down pentacles or pentagrams are inherently evil is ridiculous, right? Just because some bald guy like me in the 1970s decided to say we're going to use this as our symbol. His name was Anton LaVey. He doesn't speak for all of dark occultism.
Something is connected, which is wicked. You see what it said? I am music.
So,
bruh, come on.
What's wrong with I am music? Oh, because Jesus or God called himself the greatest I am, right? The great I am. Now no one else can say I am, even though Christians say it multiple times a day, every day of their life, right? I'm going to the store. I'm going to the bathroom. I'm going to work. I'm going to go to my friend's house. I'm going to go. They say it all the time. They might not say I am, right? Most people say I'm, right? We speak colloquially, but I'm is short for I am. So like it doesn't make so celebrities can't say I am, but everyone else, but mainly Christians, can say it in general conversation, and it doesn't mean anything. But when a celebrity says it, it's a problem. Come on, man. Come on.
That's the song he's singing.
So this is the song he's singing. It says a whole lot of I can't even make that out. Oh,
You know what that says. Stop.
MF and drugs.
There you
a
go.
whole lot of MF and cups. Counting all these hundreds. Done effed up my thumbs. Percocet, drugs, weed, shoddy. I done killed my lungs. I'ma F the whole 1,000 times, shoddy. I still ain't done.
What's wrong?
This is what your children are singing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
Absolutely
anything
insane.
to idolize or to put forth, but where's the witchcraft? Where's the occult? These are bad things, to be sure, but I mean, well, minus the weed. But where's the occultism? Where's the witchcraft? That's not a. This is just people wearing red. This is not occultism. Like, guys, you gotta just because there's fire right here and they're wearing red and it's dark. Come on. Come on. What makes red an evil color? What makes red the color that Satan would wear or the devil would wear? What, because that's what Hollywood shows you? Because I don't remember in the Bible it mentioning anything about any of this. Red is the color of the devil and all that. What makes any of this evil other than Hollywood told you that it was evil? Hollywood told you this is what a ritual looks like, and therefore it's bad.
What is Taraji doing?
Every marriage in that building is in trouble. They don't even know it.
They're making it seem like I promise you. I don't know what performance this is. I have no idea what they're. I think this is still the BET award show, which I didn't watch. I don't watch the BET awards, but I know, right? Ha, make all the jokes in the comments. But I'm there like he's not playing the music or the voice because he doesn't want to get copyrighted. So I can't fault him for that. But the fact that it is silent and him playing this particular clip aids his cause because it makes it look like she's doing like an invocation. I promise you 100% she's singing a song. Probably some soft, regular, lubby-dubby R&B type song. She's singing a song. But this looks like she's performing an invocation. This makes it look like she's chanting and all this other stuff, right? The lights are low. She's got angel wings. So it makes it look like she's mocking Christ, right? Because we can't hear anything. So we have no context. So it leaves your brain to fill in the gaps. It leaves your brain to fill in the gaps, right? And so because your brain is already focused on conspiracy, because that's what this video has prepped you for, not my video, the video this video that we're reacting to, you're going to immediately think conspiratorial things about this because you don't have context. If you heard the song and the music behind, and again, I have no idea, but I guarantee you it's not some say, oh, Satan, or even, a hard song, but even softly, I'm sure it's not, oh, Lucifer, I love you. I'm sure it's a regular modern day R&B or whatever poppy love type song, or whatever, feel good, or even a sad type of a song, whatever. But because it's silent, you get no context. Your mind is going to run with conspiracy.
That's a full ancient divorce ritual. Look at her wedding dress.
It's not like what like that. See this like what makes it a divorce ritual? What? This is what makes this a wedding dress. Like, come on, man. Like this is insane. This is insane. It's a divorce ritual. Where's the partner that she's getting divorced from? Right? There are divorce rituals in the occult. It doesn't involve wearing a wedding dress and holding a fake bouquet of roses with a light in the center.
For those of you that think that gospel music has...
Those two images had nothing to do with each other. That wasn't the same thing. This image of the this right here, that right there, this is not from a performance or the award show or anything like that. That's some internet created meme or whatever. Has nothing, just because that was a robot in that image and now this is a robot in the video doesn't mean that they were connected. right? I could I could make a video of that image that we just saw of the robot in front of a pentagram, and then put a clip of I, Robot. It's two robots, but they have nothing to do with each other. That's what's happening here. Again, you get no context. Isaiah Robin knows this, guys. Isaiah Robin knows this.
For those of you that think that gospel music has gone too far.
First of all, I want to thank God, because this is the Gospel Award, huh?
Come through, shut these down, I'm breaking walls out.
Not Glorilla winning a gospel award. I completely forgot all about that. This girl won a gospel award. It's like BET just spit on gospel artists. They spit on the whole genre. You know how disrespectful that is for Glorilla to win a gospel award? Good grief. Absolutely ridiculous.
Why? Yeah, she didn't win a gospel award for this song, right? That's what I don't like. The gospel award isn't for the most pious Christian. It's for the best gospel song. Or whatever the award category that she won for. It's not for who was the most pious Christian. It's probably who had the best-selling, most popular, most poppin'. I mean, that's not what the category is called, but that's what the award is for. Who had the best gospel album or a song? I'm sure it's just a song. I'm sure she didn't do an album. I don't know. Maybe she did do a gospel album. I don't follow Glorilla like that. But I'm sure she didn't do a gospel album. I'm sure it was a gospel song. So, like, don't, like, that's, like, you're applying a standard that isn't fair. But you know that, Isaiah. You know that. You know what? We should have it would never happen. You would never agree to anything like this, but we should have a conversation. I'm not going to call it a debate, but I would love to come on to your channel or you come on to my channel and we have a conversation. Talk to a real occultist, a real witch who can validate things. I'm not just going to make claims like the pastor is. Look, it's a divorce ritual. Not explaining how or why, not explaining the mechanics of the ritual. It just is a divorce ritual. I'll show you rituals. I'll show you my witch shed where I do my magic, right? I'll show you my books and stuff like that, sure. My sigils and my seals right here. Well, this is only a few of them, the ones I use regularly on a daily basis, right? My books over there, my PDF books. But then we'll go and we'll see where I actually perform the magic, because I'm the real deal, right? Let's have a conversation, but you won't, because real witchcraft isn't as interesting as the conspiracy. Compared to the conspiracy, it's boring. Real witchcraft, real magic, real occultism. It actually is quite interesting, but compared to the conspiratorial nonsense that you push, it's quite boring. Right? No sacrifice of babies and, no kidnapping people on Halloween and all this other nonsense. No MK Ultra torture and all this BS. Sorry to everyone who believed Fritz Springmeier and his How to Create a Totally Undetectable Mind Control Slave book. Sorry, it was BS. But anyway.
This is one of Glorilla's lyrics. We're just going to go past this.
Let me say this to all my TMZ people.
So that verse is basically trying to say that because Glorilla talks crazy, she can't win, or she can't be a Christian or win a gospel award. Did not Jesus overturn the tables at the outside the temple, the money changers tables? Very angry, right? If we go to the Gnostic text, which I know no Christian accepts, but if we go to the Gnostic text, right? All the harm Jesus did as a kid. What about all that? Jesus can do it, but no one else can do it. Come on.
Glorilla didn't choose herself. She didn't say, hey, give me the award. Somebody made that decision. So I don't have I'm not tripping on Glorilla. I want Glorilla to know I'm a fan. It's 7 p.m. Friday, 95 degrees. You know, let her cook. You know, I'm good with you.
This is Dietrich Haddon, isn't it?
That's who it is.
I've seen his
is
video
that Dietrich
before.
Haddon?
He's a singer or a pastor or both.
Both, yeah. He's
He just
both
said he's a
out in
fan
LA.
of Glorilla.
He was on that show, Preachers of LA.
You can't make this stuff up.
I'm good with you. So I don't want anybody to think Dietrich got a problem with the Gloria. No, man. She deserved to be top of the hip hop female artist. She could win. She should win with the hit she's been coming out with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Have you spoke to her directly since, you know, that video went viral or no?
No, but I would love to talk to her, love to collab with her. I don't want her to think Dietrich Haddon is her enemy. If anybody's trying to put me and her against each other, you're wrong.
Kurt Franklin is in the building. Kurt, do me a favor when you get your award tonight, don't come up here popping. Jesus, I know, don't do it.
It was so good. Those jokes, it was so good. He's good.
He's hilarious.
He's good. But then I'll also give you this side, and you know, and I want him capped, right? I think that the biggest thing is for me is that I always have to be careful because I know that there's a community of the super religious that if I enjoy something too much,
Super religious? Like, you don't know what he means? Stop it. Like, yeah. Like, you don't know what he means. You know it. Like, yo, come on, man. It's your first day in the world. It's your first day on the internet. It's your first day interacting with, like, you know, radical evangelicals or just radical religious people. Stop it. Come on, man.
then it comes across like
If you can't fathom super religious people, you are a super religious. It's you, right? It's you.
well, why he not?
Yeah.
Why he?
I mean, there comes a point where you're blended with the world, for sure.
Yeah, it's sad because that's where we are now, where a so-called gospel artist can get up and give a whole anti-Christ interview to the world. And Christians don't catch it, don't even notice. It's because of music. What I've been telling y'all since I started. The only arena you can do this in, you can't do it in politics. An actor can't, nobody can do this. Athlete can't do it. You have to be a musician. And it's because music is able to influence you past your guardian. Bypass your guardian.
What does that mean? Bypass your guardian? Your guardian what? Spirit? God? What do you mean? And from an occult perspective, that's not true in any way. I don't know anyone who can use music to get past any guardian. I mean, even the weakest guardian that I could employ, right? One of the local genius Loki, which they're not weak, but weaker than my ancestors in terms of protecting me, right? Weaker than my holy guardian angel in terms of protecting me, weaker than my servitor who I've had for several years now. So they've gotten several years worth of experience and training and stuff like that. So weaker than something like that. I don't know any music that would be able to get past even that. So what are you, where is this information coming from? Where is this information coming from? We have to know. Where are you getting your information? This information has to be coming from a dubious source, because you're not naming any celebrity names. All this exposing, you just put up the verse about exposing the works of darkness. Oh, but you can't say their names. But you're commanded to expose them. Like, but no one pays attention to this stuff.
Kurt has taken everybody that attaches to him into darkness. I put the scriptures up.
You did, but you didn't give any names. Your scripture says to expose them. It doesn't say expose them only 25%, expose them 80%, but leave out the 20% that includes their name. It says expose them. Who are these high level celebrities? Oh, that's not important. Oh, that's not. Oh, blah blah blah. Like, why is that not important? Why do you get to choose what's important and what's not?
He even said, my body is not God's. It belongs to one or two.
Why is it only two?
So if it's not God's, who was talking to us?
That's another thing about Christians. Nothing else in your life works in a dualistic manner. Why would religion and spirituality? Now, maybe religion and spirituality is the unique thing that does work in a dualistic manner. There's only God or the devil. What evidence do you have to support that? Right? When you wake up in the morning, you have a multiple choice to do pretty much anything, right? Anything in life, you have multiple choice. You might not be able to see what those choices are because of your circumstances might limit your view or your vision. You might not even know about certain doors and opportunities that are open to you, but they're there, right? But for some reason, religion and spirituality, everything else in life is multiple choice, right? Multiple choice on where you work, what to wear, what car to buy, what house to buy, where to live, who to date, who to marry, who to have kids with. There's multiple choice in everything, and yet God is the only thing that's dualistic, and there's either good or evil. There's either God or the devil. There is no multiple choice. How and why? Thank
you. So this robot Maria from Metropolis, y'all saw that? They do this ritual because this ritual in that movie, 1920s, I've talked about it before. I don't even remember. Where's Jay? Which video is that, Jay?
Yeah, guys, that was him talking about the award shows. You can watch that video by searching up his name, Pastor Craig.
What? Wait. But I wanted to hear about the ritual with the robot. What ritual is this? Right? What ritual with the robot? Like, if I were to pull up one of these books and show you not all of them have rituals. Things like The Origin of Satan this is an informational book. It doesn't have any, it's not a practical book. But things like The Red King, which is about Lucifer, The Scorpion God, which is about Belial, would have rituals in it. Vox Sabbatum, The Witch's Sabbath, would have rituals in it. If I were to bring up any of these books that have rituals in it, it wouldn't resemble what they're... Okay, you know what? Let's... what is this? Anima Santine? I'm not super familiar with this book. I've not read every single book that I have, especially when it comes to PDFs. So let's see what this is. The Book of Traditional Satanism. Oh, I have a physical copy of a book by Ophis Christos. I've got The Order of the Skeleton Key by Ophis Christos. The Book of Traditional Satanism, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Okay. So we don't see stuff like this when you're watching award shows. You see the generic symbols. That should be another sign. Like, guys, we need to use our brains here, right? If you actually looked into witchcraft, real Satanism, real Luciferianism, real occultism, you would see that there's a variety of symbolism, a variety of different sigils and seals that we utilize. I mean, I've got a multitude right here, right? And yet whenever we watch music videos or performances on stage, it's always the same 3 or 4 symbols that they recycle. We need to recognize and move beyond, right? Okay, I don't okay, these might not be rituals. It says these are illustrations. Okay, wait a second. What is this? Okay, here we go. The Black Spell of Transmutation, the Tripartite Soul, that's not important. All right, let's see what the Black Spell of Transmutation is. What page is that? The Black Spell Transmutation on Level Consciousness, page 49. 28. You're not going to get this from your average conspiracy theorist. They're not going to do stuff like this. I'm not a Satanist, but we're going to read through their work to see if the accusations against them are valid. All right. The Black Spell of Transmutation, blah, blah, blah. So let's see. Where does the instruction start? This is information. Okay. So is it not an actual spell? Within our satanic tradition, the transmutation spell can be performed through learning and experiencing contact with the demonic manifestations described in the myths. Oh, okay. So we can't use this example because the spirits have to teach you the spell. One of the myths using this work deals with the path of the tree of death, where in search of, okay, yeah, you have to search for it and the spirits have to teach you. Okay, so this is like a path working type text. All right, so that's not a good example. Let's see. What about Vox Abatum? This one should have rituals in it. You know what? Screw it. I've got a physical copy over there, but I know for a fact. I think I have a. There we go. The Devil's Dozen. I've got a physical copy, but here is a PDF copy of a book by Gemma Gary called The Devil's Dozen. Should be perfect, right up the conspiracy theorist alley. This is a dozen. Actually, here I'll show you the physical copy, so you know I'm not lying, right? The Devil's Dozen. 13 craft rights of the old one. And that's what this PDF is here. Right? The Devil's Dozen. 13 craft rights of the old one by Gemma Gary. The Devil's Dozen. 13 craft rights of the old one by Gemma Gary. This is just the paperback version. And the one on here is the, see, Troy Books on there. Troy Books on here. This is just a paperback version of what that is there. And so this is 13 rights of the old one. That's a colloquial title for the devil in traditional witchcraft, the old one, right? The initiator. He's not seen as a fallen angel or anything along those lines. He's seen as a initiator, as an illuminator, right? And here's going to be rituals. Now, none of these rituals are going to involve unaliving any humans. It's not going to involve kidnapping children or anyone. It's not going to involve anyone other than yourself usually. Or if you have other people involved, okay, but it doesn't require anyone other than yourself. Right? There's not going to be any harm to anyone. There's not going to be a stage. There's not going to be an audience. There's not going to be cameras, right? Again, before we actually look at this, we need to remember the 4 tenets of witchcraft. And look, it's not even popping up, so I haven't even looked it up before. So the 4 main pillars or tenets of witchcraft, often referred to as the witch's pyramid or the 4 powers, are to know, to will, to dare, and to keep silent. Witches aren't out. So like when people say things like, "Oh, they're doing it right in front of your face," and it's obvious that doesn't make any sense. Witches are supposed to keep silent. You're not supposed to talk about your spells and the things that you're doing and the magic. So this whole what do they call it? Revelation of the method or something like that, where like you tell people what you're doing in the media and in the movies and in the TV shows, and if they don't, rebel against it, if they don't stop it or whatever, that's their compliance and all that. That's ridiculous, because one of the 4 tenets of witchcraft is to be silent. Okay. But going back to this, we're basically done the video. There's only 3 minutes left in the video. You can see 10 minutes, 12 seconds, 13. There's only like 3 minutes left. So, we're not wasting any time here. But let's get back to this really quick. So again, you're not going to get this from anyone else, right? Any of your favorite conspiracy theorists, they're not doing this, right? They're not reading books like this. They might be reading books like the Franklin Cover-Up, which is right here, right? Which I have, right? Right here. You see it over here in the corner here, right? They're reading those types of books, but that's a conspiracy book, right? I read even the stuff that I don't agree with to continue to challenge myself. Conspiracy theorists don't do that, right? And they certainly don't do this. They're not reading the books that they should be reading, right? So this is just the introduction. We're going to skip through this. This is the author's artist's rendition of a version of what a humanoid version of the devil would look like. So the man in black, there he is. The Witch's Compact. Right? Now, I'm not going to read through this word by word by word, but feel free to, I'm going to scroll through it slow enough that you can pause the video and read for yourself. Okay? I'm doing the research for you. There's no excuse at this point. I need someone to show me where in this it tells you to go dig up a body, to go unalive a person, a child. Someone show me where that is. Right? This is enough that you can pause it and read. You're not going to get this anywhere else. Ooh, this must be an evil symbol, right? Ooh, it's the head of a deer or a gazelle or something. Must be evil. Ooh, it's a skull. Ah, here's another one. The dedication and initiation of the witch under the horns. And we'll use this one as our last example, right? Not going to go through all 13, but I showed you the book, right? There's a paperback version. There's obviously a PDF version if you're into that, but there's a paperback version that I own, that I spent $4.95 on. Once it clears up, you'll see it, $4.95. So it didn't, nothing, $5, and the devil's dozen, right? So no excuse, right? Read it. Read it. Read it. Where are you unaliving people? Where are you digging up graves? You are in a graveyard. You might be in a cemetery, but you're not digging up anything, right? You're there for its potency, its power, right? Here's the actual ritual, right here. A rite of witch initiation and dedication, right? Take a look. You might be surprised. You will be surprised. This will surprise you. I challenge any conspiracy theorist, occult conspiracy theorist, to show me where is the same thing that you're seeing in the media. Where is that in this? When you see your favorite celebrity on stage doing whatever, holding up, this says under the horns, right? So that would be this, right? Where does it say to make this sign? Or like, you're free to pause and read through it. Where does it say to make the sign and to do the... where does it say to do all that? And I guess that's it. Yeah, the next one is the hollowing of the working ground. So this is sacred space, right? Delineating your space and making it sacred for your magical working. But you're free to download this book or buy the book and look through the rest of the rituals yourself. You're not going to. I know you're not going to. And I'm talking to the conspiracy theorists out there, not my audience, but the conspiracy theorists. You're not going to, because it disproves your nonsensical view. But I've done what I'm supposed to do, right? Occult apologetics. I've defended my belief system, my practices with logic and reason, right? So there you have it. I don't know if we need to finish this. Let's you guys know what I do. We're almost at an hour here. We're at 55 minutes. So, and there's only 3 minutes left here. So I'm going to see what he has over the next minute or so. And then we'll call it from there. We'll see if he has anything useful to add.
Greg Lewis on award shows, rituals. I just wanted to show the award show part. And I wanted to say this, right? It's something I had to repent for. Brothers and sisters, those of you who are in Christ Jesus, we can't be in this space where we say things like, well, I'm just a human.
All right. He's going to preach for the last few minutes. So, okay. So there you have it, guys. Bunch of BS, bunch of nonsense, just claims like always. It's just, this is a ritual, this is evil, this is witchcraft, this is demonic. Look at Playboy Cardi, he's demonic, but no explanation on as to why. And then of course any explanation that they could have given, I preempted and debunked. Right, the whole vampire thing. Oh, Cardi is demonic because the vampire thing. That's a theme. That's an aesthetic. That's marketing. It's not what he actually believes. It's not who he is. Again, vampires aren't getting married in churches, right? They're not getting buried, in Christian ceremonies. But pretty much not every, but most celebrities, especially the major ones, when they get married, it's in a church, or if it's not in a church, if it's outside somewhere, like on the beach or a mountainside or a castle or some nonsense, there's a priest or a reverend or something officiating. When they die, they're buried in a cemetery connected to a church, a Christian church. So I don't get this demonic Illuminati nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. But we are going to call it there, guys. Thank you for checking out this video. Please be sure to check out my school community if you're interested in learning magic. We just posted the Astrology 101 course from our resident astrologer, Issa. So if you're interested in getting the basics of astrology down, join the school community. The link will be in the bio. Please do check me out on TikTok. And also, if you're interested, join the Patreon. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. As always, seek the mysteries. Peace.